Okay, so for this video I'm going to make some assumptions, and those would be that you have already downloaded UOCartographer and UOCartographer labels and the missing mole fix from UOCartographer. Download UOCartographer.com. Once you've downloaded them, you need to extract the labels and the missing mole fix files into a work folder for use later. And I've just extracted them right here. You will have 6 facet files and then this bunch of map files. Now once you have extracted those, I'm going to also assume that you have UO Assist if you're running the classic client, because it's going to be required. I'm also going to assume you have decided on a custom skin for the enhanced client, because it will require something other than the default skin in order to be tracked by Cartographer. Now go to your downloads, wherever you downloaded Cartographer, and let's go ahead and run it. It's UOC setup. And just ignore the UAC being on. That was for the students who were using this computer. Just accept the defaults all the way through. And you're going to need to run it one time in order for it to place a file in the documents. Cartographer file that is necessary to place the map files in. We'll show you that in a second. So go ahead and run Cartographer once. It's going to give you all sorts of error messages. It's going to tell you can't find maps. Just keep going, and then you'll get the lovely black screen that everybody just really wants to see. So you're going to right click, go to options. If you're using enhanced client, go ahead and check those 2 boxes. If not, leave them unchecked, and check your pathways and make sure that you are pointing your EC path to your EC installation. Notice I have an enhanced client installation there too, but I want to run from the most current one, which is this Stygian Abyss. So I want to run from that one, and I want to run from the classic client, and that's not even close to the right pathway. So I'm going to browse down through to program files, x86, electronic arts, classic client. And while you're here, you may as well go ahead and set your server information. And always click the Show Status button and then say OK to that. So those are set, but we still don't have anything but a black screen. This is where these files come into play. You're going to come up here and you're going to select all these facet files and copy them. You're going to go into Documents, find the UOCartographer folder, and paste them in there. And don't worry about that. We're going to go ahead and exit, restart Cartographer. And now you have your maps. You also have the red status showing that it's not connected, so let's right click connect and make sure that it actually starts on the server. And then we'll do a find, and we're actually seeing people in there. So we now have a map. We now have it connecting to the server correctly, but we have no labels. So this is where the next part of these files come in. You're going to copy the rest of these, as many of these as you want. Some of the treasure maps and stealables and rares and things like that you may not want. So you could just do the Atlas Common Dungeons, things like that. So you're just going to copy them, and this time you're going to go find the Cartographer installation folder in Program Files x86, UOCartographer, and paste these in here. And let's exit and restart Cartographer. And now you have labels. And let's go ahead and connect again. And it's connecting correctly. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and I'm going to set this up, or let's go test it with the classic client. It's all set up for the classic client. Let's go test it. Remember, you've got to use UO Assist in order for it to work with the classic client. So let's log in and make sure it's tracking the classic client. okay. So let's see. Okay, it's moving when I move. That's good. So obviously it's tracking me. Go ahead and log out. And let's set it up where I'm going to disconnect. Let's go ahead and set it up for use with the enhanced client, which means we're just going to check these two boxes and we're going to say OK. And it's going to tell us we have to restart Cartographer. So we'll go ahead and restart it. I'm going to launch the enhanced client from the correct pathway. This one's going to want to rebuild all these files, and don't get excited if it takes quite a while to do it, or if it looks like it's not making any progress at all. Just be patient and it will eventually convert it. For the purposes of this video, I am just going to put us on pause for a couple minutes while it converts these files. Okay, the conversion has just completed and it's launched the map. I'm going to go ahead and connect again. Make it a little smaller so I can bring this up here and beside it. We'll go in a little bit. Now, this is what I was telling you about the default and custom skins. So we're going to log in first with the default skin. Let's get on the polar bear this time so we can run. You notice it's not tracking me at all. There's no movement of the cursor dot at all. So we go back in here and I'm going to log out. I'm going to go to custom UI and I'm going to pick one, in this case copper enhanced. Log back in. And now it's tracking me. So for the classic client, you have to put those map files into the folder within Documents, My Documents area. And for the enhanced client, you have to have a custom skin other than the default skin in order to be tracked. That also is assuming that you have the .NET framework installed that's needed, but this day and age, so many programs are dependent on it, you probably already have that on your system without even realizing it. And it's also assuming that you have UO Assist to be used with a classic client. Pretty much that is all it takes to get UOCartographer up and running, that and making sure you run it as administrator. So let me log out of here. Once again, remember to run everything as administrator by going to Properties, Compatibility, run as Service Pack 3 XP, and run this program as administrator. Do that for Cartographer, UO Assist, and your enhanced client, and you shouldn't have any problems.